Welcome viewers to Joe Oundo's channel. This is Dr. Nsongo here, and today I'm glad to be speaking to Prof. You'll be giving us insights, and welcome back to our channel again. So one of the most important aspects of our day-to-day life is how do you manage businesses, organizations, and various entities, both in government and in the private space. So, Prof, now many of us in the management spaces, we get ourselves into a situations where you are supposed to be a manager, yet maybe your background is in various aspects. For example, I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I've been assigned to lead a team of employees, and these people expect you to give them some leadership roles. So, in such a situations, Prof, what are the issues surrounding personnel? What are the issues surrounding personnel in any particular organization?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a very important question. A lot of times you find that we are trained in our professional areas of expertise as medical doctors, as nurses, as lab scientists, as engineers, but we are not trained to run institutions as a business. So somebody will go out and maybe do an MBA, but before they do that, do they know how to run that institution? Because if, for example, today, Dr. Songo, you are appointed as the medical director and you want your institution to be certified, either, for example, by the College of American Pathologists or another certification body or accreditation body, there are criteria that they will look at to determine whether you are running that institution as a business. This usually is one of the main reasons of failure, because we don't run those institutions as businesses. And of all the 12 quality management system essentials, the personnel is one of the most important, if not the most important.
Yes, yes.
So all the way from identifying the correct personnel, hiring them, and putting them to the places where they'll be productive. I was just telling somebody this morning that it has always been my mantra to hire people who are smarter than myself.
Oh.
So that they can do the jobs that I have hired them to do. Otherwise, it would mean me micromanaging them all the time. I don't like being micromanaged, and I don't like micromanaging people. So that is one of the most important things.
So what you're saying is that even as you selecting the right personnel is very vital.
Absolutely.
And you've made a very important point that you want, on a personal experience, you want people as smarter than you.
Yes.
So that they are self-driven.
Yes.
So as you talk about that journey, I'm looking at it. So what are these ways in which you can empower your team for them to be that effective and even be smarter than you as the manager in that organization?
So you find that there are managers, there are directors that are perpetually on aeroplanes, going for meetings and conferences where the secretary should have gone, where the lab technician should have gone, where the junior nurse should have gone, where the junior doctor should have gone. He or she goes to all those meetings.
They want to be everything.
They want to be everything because they're there in the business of making money. But what I normally tell my staff wherever I have worked is that I am not going to compete with you for resources. I've got no more school to go to. I've got no more training to go to. I've got no more conference to go to. You are the one who is going to do that. And for you to go to do that, you must be productive.
Okay.
And somebody can be negatively productive or positively productive, but you have to be positively productive.
Okay.
So you have to, there are things that you look at on how to motivate your staff. So those are very critical.
That's perfect. So there's negative productivity and there's also positive productivity. So
Yes.
it's possible that you could employ people or lead people in an organization that you are running as a business, but you end up having people who are drilling the inner job, pushing the team to the negative side.
Yes.
So maybe I pick that point and I look at it. You said the first principle is the right personnel selection. So maybe in your experience, in various project management that you have encountered, both in business and even at a private level, even at family level. I know you work with many people at different work positions. I'm looking at this aspect of employability. So maybe, Prof, you can, young people are looking for jobs. And out there saying there are no jobs, there are no jobs, there are no jobs. And I meet some employers, managers, who are looking for the right people. You have rightly said that you are looking for somebody who's better than you. So what can you tell these young people as there are opportunities in the industries? What can they do to be employable?
So, your papers will get you inside the room.
Yes.
Your expertise, your competence will make sure that you stay in the room.
Wow.
So you'll come in and you've got an MBCHB from Harvard University, but are you able to resuscitate a child? You come in with a beautiful degree from the best university on the continent, but are you able to hire people? Are you able to manage resources? Are you able to manage a budget of $10 million? These are critical. So it's not just about your paper qualifications. It's about the competencies and the skills that you bring in into the institution. And I'll answer that by giving an analogy. There was this super tanker carrying oil, which just stopped working. And they brought in novel engineers, all sorts of people with fancy qualifications. And they couldn't fix this problem to get the ship back in the seas. And this wise old man came in with a hammer. And he was knocking from one place to another, one place to another one. And then he said, tighten this screw. And voila, the ship started functioning. And so they told him,
Yes.
well, that was cheap. He said, for fixing the screw is $10.
Okay.
But for finding out the problem is $200,000.
Wow.
So
So finding out the problem
finding
is
out
the
the problem
experience now.
is the experience.
Wow.
How are you going to solve the problem? How are you going to make this institution profitable? How are you going to meet the objectives of the institution which you have been given to manage or to run? That is critical.
That's critical. So that's great. That's insightful. So we are looking at a possibility where there are some people who try to have shortcuts and they want to fix problems without going through the right experience. And you've rightly said, and I've had it clear, that papers can put you into a room, but it takes more than papers for you to stay in that room. And I think that is a big, big challenge we face as young people when seeking for employment. And for those managers who are employing people, getting the right personnel obviously is really a big, big problem. But Prof, as we come to the end of this discussion, I want you to, what is the consequences of choosing the wrong personnel?
Failure.
Yes.
The consequences of choosing the wrong personnel is failure. And some of the failures can be catastrophic. If a doctor makes a mistake, what happens to his client?
They obviously will end up into
They'll die.
yeah.
If a lawyer makes a mistake, what happens to the client?
will go to prison.
Will go to prison. And if a pilot makes a mistake, a plane with 600 people will come crashing down. So some of these mistakes are too severe to even be thought about. So it's critical that even the employer himself or herself, do they know the person they are looking for? And in order to know the person they are looking for, there must be what we call a position description, a job description. Very well defined, that this person coming into the room, what are they going to do? At the end of the work period, whether the work period is 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, what are the outputs that they'll be required to do? And just in summary, I remember my last job, I was given a 16-page letter of appointment. Very fancy and fancy title and everything. But I asked my boss, can you reduce this to 1 bullet? And he said, yes. I want you to give me an internationally accredited laboratory in 4 years. This was a lab, it was just rooms.
Okay.
And in 4 years, I hired people,